Well, students, today we will be dealing with organometallic compounds, and in this very lecture we will discuss introduction, structure and bonding of metal carbonyls. As far organometallic compounds are concerned, these are the transition metal complexes which contain at least one metal carbon bond. And in organometallic chemistry, carbon monoxide nowadays is regarded as one of the most common ligand, and accordingly, large number of carbonyl complexes have been reported. Some common examples are tetracarbonyl nickel, pentacarbonyl iron, and hexacarbonyl chromium. The structures of all these three carbonyl compounds are given as under. If we observe the structures of these carbonyl compounds, we can easily find that this carbonyl ligand, which is having two donor atoms, oxygen and carbon, is bonded through carbon atom to the metal rather than oxygen atom. This means in these carbonyl compounds, there is a metal carbon bond. So, such transition complexes of carbon monoxide where there is a metal carbon bond are simply called as metal carbonyls. As far history of these metal carbonyls is concerned, it dates back as long as 1834 when Justus von Liebig tried some experiments of carbon monoxide with different metals, and he was the first to report potassium carbonyl. However, later on it was said that this compound potassium carbonyl cannot be regarded as a metal carbonyl. It was in 1868 when Schwarzenberger reported two carbonyl compounds of platinum, one of which was monomeric, whereas another one was a dimeric. But the actual chemistry of carbonyl compounds started in 1890 when Mond and his co-workers reported nickel tetracarbonyl. Later on, Heber reported large number of carbonyl complexes. As far carbon monoxide ligand or carbonyl ligand is considered, it is one of the most versatile ligand as it acts as monodentate ligand in some of its complexes, whereas in other complexes it acts as a bidentate as it simultaneously is bonded to two metal atoms, whereas in others it acts as a polydentate ligand. In addition, it has a pi bonding nature also. Due to different modes of bonding of this carbon monoxide ligand, large number of carbonyl complexes have been reported. Some of these complexes are mononuclear, some are binuclear, whereas others are polynuclear. Now coming to the bonding in metal carbonyls. The carbon atom of carbonyl group in metal carbonyls is one of the most important atom, as this carbon atom, it contains fully filled orbital, in addition some vacant orbitals on the same carbon atom. When it utilizes its fully filled orbitals, then it donates these electrons to the empty orbital of the metal to form a ligand metal coordinate bond or ligand metal sigma bond. Whereas when it utilizes the empty orbitals, these empty orbitals, they undergo sidewise overlap with the fully filled orbitals of the metal, and accordingly a pi bond is formed. That bond is called as metal ligand pi bond. Thus the bonding in metal carbonyls, it can be explained in two steps. In one step, the sigma bond formation, that means ligand metal or carbon metal bond formation, can be explained, whereas in another step, pi back bond formation, that means metal to carbon or metal to ligand bond formation, can be explained. This sigma bond as well as pi bond formation can be best understood with the help of molecular orbital diagram of carbonyl molecule. As carbonyl molecule is concerned, it has total 14 electrons, 6 from carbon atom, whereas 8 from oxygen atom. However, here for simplicity, we are showing only the valence shell electrons, that is 4 from carbon and 6 valence electrons of oxygen. Thus, there are total 10 electrons, 10 valence electrons in the carbonyl molecule. These 10 valence electrons can be accommodated in different molecular orbitals in the molecular orbital diagram of CO as shown. According to molecular orbital diagram of CO, the electronic configuration of carbonyl molecule can be written as sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, this one is pi 2px2, this one is pi 2py2, whereas this one is sigma 2pz2. In addition, these three orbitals, pi 2px, pi star 2px, pi star 2py, and sigma star 2pz are empty orbitals but are anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Out of all these orbitals, this orbital sigma 2pz is the highest occupied molecular orbital, whereas these two orbitals, pi star 2px and pi star 2py, are the lowest unoccupied molecular orbitals. These are represented as HOMO and these two are represented as LUMO. These two orbitals, HOMO and LUMO, are the most important orbitals which take part in bonding, which can be explained as under. In case of highest occupied molecular orbital, the largest lobe is located on the carbon atom, and this is this lobe which undergo overlap with the empty orbitals of the metal to form ligand metal sigma bond. In a similar way, in case of lowest unoccupied molecular orbitals, the largest lobe too is present on the carbon atom, but this is empty. This empty orbital located on the carbon atom then undergo sidewise overlap with the fully filled orbitals of the metal to form pi back bond, that is called as metal ligand bond. This simultaneous formation of the sigma and pi bond can be explained in a single diagram as shown. In this diagram, it is clear that this is the highest occupied molecular orbital which contain a lone pair of electron. This lone pair of electron can be donated to the empty d orbital of the metal to form ligand metal sigma bond. Whereas this is the lowest unoccupied molecular orbital, that means empty orbital located on the carbon, and this one is the fully filled d orbital located on the metal atom. These undergo sidewise overlap to form a d pi p pi back bond. This simultaneous sigma and pi bond formation leads to the formation of synergic effect, which can be explained as under. If we consider this diagram, we can easily observe that in case of sigma bond formation, the electrons are transferred from the fully filled orbitals located on carbon to the empty orbitals located on the metal. As a result, due to this bond, the electron density on carbon atom it decreases, whereas that of the metal atom it increases. But in case of pi bond formation, there is altogether a reverse phenomena. Here, the electrons are transferred from metal to carbon atom or metal to ligand. As a result, the electron density on metal orbitals decreases, whereas the electron density on the orbitals located on the carbonyl ligand it increases. Both these effects reinforce each other. As a result, the strength of metal carbon bond it increases. This increase in the strength of metal carbon bond due to back bonding is sometimes called as synergic effect, and the bonding is called as synergic bonding. In addition to the sigma and pi bond formation, the carbonyl ligand also act as a bridging ligand. That means it can simultaneously bond to two or more than two metals. This bridging is represented as mu and CO, where N represents the number of metals to which carbon monoxide ligand or carbonyl ligand is coordinated. For example, in the first case, the carbonyl ligand is coordinated to only one metal atom. Therefore, this is called as linear carbonyl group, whereas in the second case, the carbonyl group is simultaneously coordinated to two metal atoms. Here, it acts as a bridging ligand and is represented as mu2. In this case, the carbonyl ligand is bonded to three metals. So it is again a bridging ligand and can be represented as mu3. And here in this case, although there are two metals, but the mode of bonding of carbonyl ligand is somewhat different. Here it coordinates through both carbon atom as well as oxygen atom. So here it is now called as mu neta 2. This was all about today's lecture, that is bonding, introduction, bonding and synergic effect of carbonyl compounds. Thank you very much.